Alright folks, and welcome to the last video in this. I know you'll all say thank Christ for that. I know you're listening enough for me this week. Bless you. In this video, it's just going to be little final tweaks, if any, showing you what I've got on the master track, or the master fader, or the main fader, whatever you want to call it. And then we'll render this down, and then we'll master this track. Well, let's have a quick listen to what we've got so far. I might just bring those drums down half a dB, and maybe just that bass as well. Let's have another quick listen. I'm happy with that. I don't think I'm happy with how the rest of the mix is sounding. I'm not really going to mess about with any of the other faders. Volume wise, 0.4 dB. Volume reduction on that bass and drums. Yeah, I suppose you could say I just raise the volume on the guitars, but it's just as easy just to do it in one click on those. So on the master fader, all I've got going off on here is this tube compressor. All we're dialing in here is just a bit of bus glow, and all I'm aiming for here is between 2 to 3 dBs of gain reduction. We've got slowish attack, slowest release, and 2-to-1 ratio. Some people go to 4-to-1, some people go 2-to-1. So let's have a look, see if we're sort of getting between 2 and 4 dB of gain reduction. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It was hitting around about 3 dBs of gain reduction. You've seen that meter there. So yeah, I'm happy with that. And I've got the red light and distortion, saturator, whatever you want to call it, just to give it a subtle saturation, just to say, give it maybe not quite the analog tape feel, but yeah, it's just adding that little bit of saturation. And there is another little thing we can add as well that's in Studio One. It's got this console emulation built in. I've got the Pro version, and it's just got one version of this console shaper. I think if you sign up to presonus fee, I think you get 3. All this does is adds a little bit more drive. You can add noise in if you want, and a little bit of crosstalk like an analog. And have a listen. Yeah, just adding that little bit. It's only adding a tiny amount, but to my ears anyway, through the monitors, it's just adding that nice, if you will, that nice analog warmth, if you will. Let's have another quick listen through. Just going to add a small amount of EQ here, not very much at all. So I'm just hearing a little bit of build up in those mids. Around about 300 to 400 hertz. Around about that 1.7k range. And all we're notching out is a dB. It's a very tiny amount, but it does just clear things up a little bit. So with that EQ on, It's a very subtle amount, but it just cleans it up nicely. For me, anyway. I don't always put EQ on. It's just sometimes when you get that sort of build-up of everything, even though you sort of clean bits of mid-range up in that sort of muddiness range, you do sort of, once everything's added together, it does sort of build up a little bit again. And I'm happy with how that's sounding. Now, we have got limiter on. All that's doing is just raising the volume up while I'm mixing it. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get shut of that limiter. And then before we render this down, I'm going to mute this countdown because you don't need it in to master the track. And to master it, it's just song, export, mix down, and 24 bits. And then what we call this punk, metal, and then stock mix. And there we go, there's our rendered file there. What we could do we could have mastered that within the session itself. Sometimes I do that if it's just a quick song for YouTube, like say, you know, the when I do the in the mix part of an amp sim demo, I just master it in the session itself. But if it's a song I'm going to release, then I will go into the mastering session. Now you can either open a new session up there, but Studio One has got its own mastering page, and it has been updated because there's just been a recent update to Studio One. It's called the project page. All we do is just open that up, new project, punk, metal. We'll just keep with the same theme, and I'll pop it in the same folder. And this is the project mastering screen, so you've got all sorts of different bits here. So you've got sort of metering down here to test the loudness of your track. So you've got LU or LUFS. Most standards is LUFS. We'll go with that. And this is just like a graphical EQ representation, and this is just level meter. So all we do is we take that mix down, and then we just drag and drop it in. So this is how it's sounding without any mastering processors on. Yeah, sounding pretty quiet. Let me just pop a loop on there. And first thing I'm gonna add on, I'm happy with it sounding, so I'm not going to add any EQ. I'm just going to add that multiband compressor that we had in before. But what we're going to do, we're going to affect everything. And let's have a look. It's going to about 140. Although actually, could leave that at 85 where it was. Top end about 10k. About 2k. Maybe have that at 5. And all done is just knock that down by about 1.4, 1.5 dB, just to give it a little bit of gain reduction in there. And then next, I'm going to add that same limiter in. There's all sorts of different presets in there. Let's have a look at this. Minus 1 dB limiting. So I've got it set on the minus 1 dB, and all I'm going to do is just raise that gain up to raise the perceived volume. We're looking at about, it's just going to be for YouTube, between 12 and 40. I normally aim between 12 and 14, but yeah, around about 12, negative 12 LUFS. yeah, we're bang on the money there. We're just getting a little bit of gain reduction there, so I've raised the gain to just under 10. That's giving us between 1 and 2 dBs of gain reduction, which is in the ballpark. So next we're just going to do a bit of tidying up on this track here. So I'm just going to see if everything's fading out at the same point, which, yeah, looking at that wave file, it's not. Yeah, so all I'm going to do is just tidy this up a bit. Let's have a listen. And I'm just going to put a fade in there as well, just to get a shot of any pops and clicks. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Bring that down to there. Don't worry about that a little bit. We'll just bring it in. And then just going to do the same at the other end. Just going to bring a fade in just to get any shot of any pops and clicks at the beginning. I might just actually bring that even up a touch. So I think there was just one there as the bass kicks in. Yeah, I'm happy with how that's sounding. So all we do next is just click digital release, and I'm going to leave it as a WAV file. Now for the streaming services and CDs and everything, we render at 16-bit. You can render at other bit rates, but yeah, 16-bit is the standard, CD standard. Just in case we do go over the -12 LUFS, they've added this option in here to adjust the loudness, and there's all the different various ones there, because for most of the streaming services it's -14. I think for you, I'm sure for YouTube it is -12. So no, they've put it for -14. So well, we'll leave it at that. Not going to publish this because, yeah, it's not going to go up onto my SoundCloud. It's just for these videos. So I'll publish that. There we go. We've got a WAV file, and then we've got a M3U file. So there you go. There's everything I've done to mix and master this song. So before we conclude this, here's what it sounds like all together, fully mixed and mastered. So there you go, folks. That's everything I've done to mix and master this track. As you see, I've kept things pretty simple. We've only used 2 or 3 different processors on each track and each bus, and in the mastering as well. Kept it simple. I was happy with the mix. Didn't need to do any more tweaking after it had been rendered down. So just a multi-band compressor and some limiting. Yeah, I'm liking how this has turned out. Like I say, everything we've used in here, apart from the Pulse IR loader, it's stock plugins to actually mix the song. Let me know what you guys think. Has this been any help to you? Have you picked up any tips? What do you think about the mix of this track? And yeah, that's all for this video, and that's all for this week. You'll be glad to hear about that. And
we'll catch you in the next one.
Right, folks, I hope you enjoyed that video. You can follow me on social media and you can get my music online. And if you want to support the channel, there's Buy Me a Coffee and PayPal links. They're all down in the description. Click up here to subscribe and click the link down there for videos that you may not have seen. Keep it loud and keep it heavy.